Greetings, actives, and welcome to the February Founders Zoom. It's great to be here with all of you. As always, David and I are together, and it is not the 15th of February. It is, in fact, the 17th of February. Thank you for bearing with us and extending 2 days. Our schedules were such that we had to move the Founders Zoom to today. So I'm glad that you're all here. For those of you who are new to actives, welcome. We do this typically the 15th of every month, where we like to talk a little bit about where we've been and where we are going, talk about some of the things that are around the corner, and give you a glimpse of what you can expect. So that said, I will say happy Valentine's Day belated. I hope everyone is celebrating. In Latin America, it's the month of love, the entire month, el mes del amor. I kind of wish we did more of that, those of us who speak English, but I hope that you are all continuing to have a wonderful Valentine's month and taking advantage also of the special Valentine's promotion that we have going on, where we're moving the goal a little bit closer to you and helping you earn a little bit more money faster this month. And so if you're unfamiliar with the promotion, check it out online. It's all over social media right now, but we start paying you extra cash just after 3 enrollments. So anyways, go find out more information there and let's go ahead and get started. David, how are you? Happy Valentine's month. Hope you're doing well. Talk to us. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this month? And looking back at January, how did we kick the year off?
Well, Ryan, happy belated Valentine's. I am a little disappointed. I didn't get my normal yearly Valentine from you this year, but I know you were busy traveling and
Yeah,
but it's we didn't get this sweethearts or whatever it is those are. But it was great. January was great, and we're off to a great start in 2026. You mentioned that because of travel schedules and things, you've been on the road, you're about ready to go back on the road. I'm getting out there and going to be hitting some cities next week. And then, I mean, frankly, the travel schedule even picks up from there. And, it's interesting. I think I mentioned this on one of our US update calls. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, Ryan, but I recently found out that it takes over 200 muscles to take one step. And so I'm thinking, okay, great. We're not just taking one step, we are running, we're moving. So we're using a lot of muscles. So I encourage everybody to get out there and don't just take one step, take a bunch of steps. And as we're getting out and having meetings, I encourage all of you to get out and share what's going on with your friends and neighbors and in your downlines and all your organizations because there's a lot to talk about and people are very excited about what they're hearing.
that's right. Um, Thinking about January and kicking off this year, I think I speak for you and for many people, if not everyone on our corporate team, but many of the leaders also. Something interesting occurred in January. Not only we were starting a new year, and we kind of had this conversation throughout the month of January, but it just felt different. It felt big. It felt special. It felt like something big was coming this year. And I don't know how much of that is me making things up with myself, but I would say everybody would have needed to have done that, but because we're all saying the same thing. And and I'm looking at what we're rolling out this year. I'm looking at some of the shifts in strategy, some of the focus on leadership, some of the focus on unity, the importance of really building a solid foundation of leadership in our company where everybody's united, all groups are united. Gone are the days of divisions, gone are the days of, hey, I'm going to do things my way. We I think what we've learned in 8 years is we are much better together. And that means, it sounds good, but it's quite literally people grow better when they're working together. And so it feels like a relaunch for me. And I was just in Mexico this last week, as you know, and met with a lot of leaders there. So a lot of our founding sort of pioneering group, the people who were with us before we launched, were out in the area of Mexico, into the state of Tabasco, where I was, Villahermosa. And they were all saying the same thing. It feels like we're doing another relaunch, right? And they were speaking for themselves, saying, I just feel different. I feel like, I'm starting my business again. Now, they all have great businesses and they're earning way more today than they were 8 years ago, excuse me. And some of them even have taken some time off over the past couple of years. But without exception, every single leader that I'm meeting with is just talking about this level of commitment that they have to getting to the next level, the second chapter, the next step, whatever metaphor we want to use for it. I keep saying, I feel like we're starting the second chapter of Actives. And for, all intents and purposes, we really are. We had the first chapter was great. We grew a lot. We proved the naysayers wrong. We proved the cynics wrong. We overcame incredible obstacles that put 98% of companies like us out of business in their first 5 years. Well, we're alive and kicking and thriving today after 8 years. And that second chapter, chapter two of our book, the book of history of actives, is looking great. I spent a lot of time, David, talking with leaders just about what does chapter two look like. And all of us, the conversation, this was around a dinner table at a restaurant, my first night there before I'd met with any big groups or done any big presentations. It was just with about eight really good friends, close friends who have been with us from the beginning, who are all respective leaders in their own right. And our conversation was really centered on next step is penetrating the masses. It's reaching the masses. It's going out to the people who know nothing about actives, who know nothing about epigenetic technology, who've never heard about that, and really making sure that we're positioned properly such that when the demand increases, when this wave hits the nutrition industry and the wellness industry, and everyone starts talking about epigenetics, that we're going to be properly positioned, that they're going to be properly positioned. And the way to do that is by reaching the masses. We talked about different strategies on how to reach the masses, one of which is what we just launched in November, our last eighth year anniversary, which is not coffee. People think we launched coffee. It's actually a strategy to reach the masses, right? It's to open 90% of the doors out there, introduce something that they're all familiar with to them, and then after having done that, introduce them to epigenetics, to NRF2 activation, to the promise of our products, to the opportunity that we provide people. And so it's interesting to see, for me to see, how the mindset of most of our leaders are all moving by themselves to the same place. And that's a place of hitting the relaunch button. And this time we're going to reach the masses. And so it is exciting to see what we have coming down the pipeline. I'm kind of jumping ahead, talking less about January, more about what's coming. But some of what we're rolling out, David, here in the near future with the use of artificial intelligence and a new AI platform, which is really going to expand people's ability to reach the masses. So it's exciting to see not only what we have that's coming, right? But for me, it's exciting to see how, without even giving a clue or saying anything to the field seems to automatically be going to this place of, you know what? Second chapter of the company, we're going big this time. We're going to double the size of Active. So I'm excited. It was a great trip, and I'll share a little bit more here when after we hear from you about what you're excited about.
You sound pretty excited. I think I'd like to just keep listening to you. You got some good stuff going on there. This call is actually for the English speakers. And one thing that we're seeing, Ryan, is a lot of movement, a lot more
Yeah.
people joining us. We've got some people, for example, led by Mary Coop and Gayland. And I won't say exactly how old they are. Let's just say that despite what their chronological age may be, that their activity level would put most 20-year-olds to shame. And they're keeping me busy. They're keeping Colton busy. They're keeping other people busy with Zoom calls and telephone calls. And they're excited to spread the story about epigenetics. What's interesting is that one of the questions I've been getting on some of these calls is, well, you've been around 8 years. How many distributors are there in the United States? How many English-speaking distributors are there in the United States? And it's kind of interesting to me because I wonder what they want to hear. Do they want to hear that we have a lot and so that they can say we're joining a very successful company? Or do they want to hear that we don't have very many so that it's really fertile territory and it's wide open? And I would say, well, the answer is both because we have a lot of distributors. not as many English speakers as we have Spanish speakers. In fact, if you go back to your analogy of the first chapter, I think most people would say the first chapter of the Active story has been primarily written in Spanish.
Mm.
And then as we go forward, it's going to be much more of a multilingual chapter. There's going to be
Yeah,
like every paragraph is going to use can be a paragraph's going to be written in Spanish, a paragraph's going to be written in English, a paragraph's going to be written in Chinese, and and Japanese, and so on. And what's interesting is that 8 years. Um, the company has, it's never been a better time to join Actives. We know more about the science. We've proven the compensation plan. We've developed leaders organically. We're growing in a multitude of markets, even when many other companies are going backwards. And really, like you say, defying the odds. And yet, despite that success, we're just barely touching the surface.
yeah.
It's still a golden virgin territory out there. I think I just, probably mixed some metaphors there, but whatever it is, it's a great opportunity. And I just recommend that anyone walk out your door, talk to 100 people, and see how many of those 100 have. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live in Tokyo, Kansas City, Mexico City, Salt Lake City, wherever. Walk
Yeah,
out and ask 100 people if they've heard of Actives. And chances are probably all 100 will not have heard.
yeah.
And so that may seem like, that's not good news. No, no. The good news is that all 100 of them need to hear about Actives. Every single one of them is suffering from oxidative stress. Every single one of them needs to strengthen their gut-brain connection. Every single one of them is interested in anti-aging and pain reduction and anti-inflammation and whatever it is. And so I don't know. I think that's a pretty good opportunity if you've got what every single person needs, and they can really only get it from you. That's a
Right.
good business opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Listen to you talk about that, David. I was about how everybody can just go outside and talk to people. I interviewed a week ago somebody that probably most people watching this, because this is English speaking, are not aware of and didn't hear. But I interviewed a man whose son is an A12 in our company named Eliseo. He lives in the city in the state called Colima, Mexico. His father has been a painter for 50 years. And what's interesting about him is he didn't even know how to use a cell phone. But Eliseo got his dad, showed him how the products work. His dad started to use them, started to feel a lot better, had extra energy. I mean, he's a guy that works outside, works inside, but very manual laborer, of painting houses and commercial buildings for 50 years.
Wow.
Immediately saw benefits from using the trifecta, from using Nitrox Pro, Aero. I think that they're using Everyday Actives coffee. I think they just started, but they basically use everything. And his dad feels like he has this renewed life. I mean, just like he hit the reset button on his life, he shared. But what I talked to him about a week ago was the last month in January, right, kicking off the year, he reached the rank of A8, and he qualified to attend this coming week, where I'll be in the mountains of Monterey, Chipinque. He's going to be attending the Actors Academy to learn how to get his business to the next level, to really go from mid-level leader to upper level leader in the company. And I asked him, how he did it. And he did exactly what you just said. He said, Eliseo just wouldn't stop talking to me. So then I decided that I would at least go talk to a few people. And he did. He talked to a handful of people, then to another handful of people, then to another handful of people. Some of those people shared it with people that they knew. And he went to A8 in just a matter of a couple of months. And he's in his 70s, definitely in his 70s. I don't know exactly his age, but I know a lot of 70-year-olds, so I'm pretty sure he's in his 70s. Um, and uh, and he's just excited. And here's a guy in his mid to late 70s who's doing something he's never done before, ever. And he has figured out how to make money as an entrepreneur, and that's not requiring him to invest huge capital expense in buying paint and setting up his own painting business. I mean, something that he's done for years. This is, has a much lower barrier of entry, and it's something that he's doing and he's teaching his friends to do. So it starts with that. It starts with sharing, getting out there and sharing your own personal experience, right? And I tell people this, if you are really into the business and you're going to do this business, you're looking for a business you can do from your home, from your car, from your cell phone, and and maybe you haven't even started on the products yet, it's okay. Share someone else's experience. It's okay to share someone else's experience with the products. You don't have to have this personal experience where, boy, I couldn't walk and now I can walk. I couldn't see and now I can see thanks to the products. That's not how all testimonials are. We're all different physiologically and we feel things differently. And sometimes we don't feel anything. It doesn't mean that the products aren't working deep down at the cellular level. So you either trust and believe that the science is accurate or it's not. It either is or it's not. I choose to believe that it is 100% of the time. And so that's how you get started though. Go out and share your experience or someone else's experience and just start helping people. Find out what they want, find out what their needs are, and then show them how they can accomplish that through Active. So I want to just take my hat off to Salvador. I'm drawing a blank on his last name, Salvador Velasco. Last week, he was really a great example of doing exactly what you said, David. Just going out and starting to share. Don't have to overthink it. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to have a little bit of passion and enthusiastic about this new discovery that you're making, this thing, this product line that's impacting your life, and the rest will take care of itself. So, um, David, that was probably the highlight of mine from last month, and I'll just close by saying this next month in what is next month? March, January, March, yeah, is historically, it's one of the strongest months in the network marketing industry. And I've seen this for years and years, independent of the company. I want everyone to listen to this. Don't wait for March to start building, though, because when I say it's one of the best months, what I mean is there's sales typically go up a lot higher, enrollments go up, autoships go up, but not just in actives. I've seen this, David, you've seen it too in other companies that we've been at. And here's the lesson that I've learned over the years. If you wait for the seasonalities to be favorable to you, for there to be fewer distractions, like March, there are few distractions in the marketplace, right? Kids are back at school. There's no major holidays. It's a 31-day month, right? You can really do well that month if you're working towards a rank advancing and working to build your business. But if you wait for March, it's going to be too late. It's like waiting till the wave in the ocean is right on you before you try and stand up to ride it on. Good surfers know, and used this analogy last week in Mexico, and I discovered very quickly, David, that no one in Villahermosa has ever surfed. That's what I discovered. Because I was using, you guys know what it's like, and they're like, no, we don't. You have to, when you
Catch
see
the
that there's
wave.
a, yeah, it was pretty funny. When you see the swell coming, you have to start paddling. The closer it gets to you, you have to paddle faster. And if you don't paddle fast enough, the wave either goes under you or it crashes on you. It actually usually just rolls under you if you're not paddling fast enough. And then you look towards the beach and some other lucky guy who was paddling faster than you gets up and rides it all the way in and has an incredible ride. That is the best metaphor for this industry, right? For taking advantage of the opportunity when it hits, right? Because it's not a wave coming, it's not the same for everybody. It depends on the preparedness of the surfer. And the preparedness of the surfer is you've got to see a company coming, recognize the trend, and then turn the board such that you're facing the right direction, and then paddle like your life depends on it so that when it gets to you, it's you just stand up. Balance and standing up is secondary. That's the easy part. The hard part is the paddling. So back to my example talking about March. Don't wait for March to then say to yourself, oh, well, Ryan said this is going to be a good month for me. Okay, March, be good. No. To take advantage of the growth that's coming in March, it means that February, you're paddling your heart out. You're paddling your heart out, excuse me, paddling like your like your life depends on it. You start building now, inviting now. getting as many people ready for the Monterey event in March as possible, talking to as many people as you can, meet new people every day, share with them some videos, share with them some articles, share with them the things that you like that matter to you. What's your favorite video? Share that with people and tell them why you shared it with them. If you do that all through February, through the end of February, first of all, you're going to make a lot of money because of the promotion we've got going on this month. But you're going to be ready so that when March hits, you're going to have a small army of people. Guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be doing what you did with them in March. That's when you're going to really be able to capitalize on the natural growth that occurs in March. So, guys, that is my tip of the week and of the month that I've got for you also. Paddle like your life depends on it. March is going to be big. Don't wait for March. Go get it now. David?
Well, you didn't leave me with much because you used the best analogy for network marketing. I'm not even sure where to go with that, but I will say that in terms of what we share with people, you mentioned testimonials. In my experience, what the very best thing to share with somebody else is not necessarily, you don't have to become a junior scientist, you don't have to become a comp plan expert. The main thing, I think, and the most authentic thing is to share with them what attracted you to Actives. What got you so excited about it in the first place? Because remember, when you first joined, you probably didn't know that much, but you had a hope. You had a hope that the products would work. You had a hope that you could make some money. You had a hope, and I think that then you bolster that with these other stories, whether they are yours or somebody else's. And I think that you'll find that many people are exactly interested in the same things that you were interested in very initially. And I don't think we need to overcomplicate this because that paddling, babies can paddle, anybody can paddle. You just got to get up and you just have to decide to do it. And there's a lot of paddling going on, as we mentioned. There's a lot more meetings going on. And I just want to throw out the invitation to this group, especially. If there's something that we can do as a corporate team to support you and your group, whether that be Zoom calls, whether that be meetings, whatever that is, please let us know. Don't just assume like, oh, well, I don't want to bother them. Believe me, helping you build your business is no bother. That's what we do. It's what we want to do. And so anything that we can do to help you capitalize, because after all, it's more fun to paddle together than paddle by yourself anyway. So let's get out there and get as many paddlers and surfers grabbing this wave as we can. And I think it's going to be an exciting rest of February. And there's some really fun things going on in March that we can't wait to share with you again. But the best days of Actives, we've had some great days. We're one of the only companies that's had year after year double-digit growth every year of our existence.
Right.
And that just doesn't happen. And as good as that is, I think our very best days are ahead of us. I think we're going to look back and say, oh, those are kind of nice days. That was kind of fun. But then we're going to say, whoa, but look at us now. And you guys
That's
have a
right.
chance to be a part of the next chapter, as Ryan likes to say, the look at us now chapter. And I think that's going to have a lot of new characters. And I hope you don't get offended when I call all of you characters, but a lot of you characters are going to be essential and main characters to the growth of Actives. And we're going to have a lot of stories to compare and talk about. So have a great rest of the month. Ryan, back to you to close us out.
All right. Great. Thank you, David. Guys, thank you for jumping on tonight. It's great to, well, we're not seeing you, but great to share with you a little bit and wish you all the best this month. Remember to take advantage of the promotion this month. It's not 500 Club unless you are inside of your first 90 days, but you do have an opportunity to earn an extra $150 every time you enroll three people on 200 PV. And we'll pay you the following week on Friday, and there's no limit, no cap, and you get 20 points towards your qualification for Punta Cana. So I hope you're focused, laser focused on qualifying for the Punta Cana Dominican Republic trip. And I want to give a shout out not only to all of our English speakers in the US, but I think we have a large contingency from Philippines watching us. Greetings to the Philippines, China, Taiwan, Japan, wherever you happen to be watching us. We wish you all the best of success, and we will see you soon. And as always, we'll see you at the top. Thank you, David. Have a great
See you,
evening.
everybody.